I'm here with Paula and Caoimhe from September Girls. How are you doing?
Good, thanks. How are you?
Excellent, not too bad at all. For people who aren't familiar, can you tell us a bit about the story about where September Girls came from? Because you formed, I think it was November last year, but can you tell me a bit more about that?
We actually formed in September.
Aha, I see, yeah.
But 4 of us were in a band together before that called Tallulah Does the Hula. And basically our drummer that we had left, and I was playing in another band with Sarah, who's our drummer now. And basically we were looking for a drummer, and she said she wouldn't mind doing it. So she ended up joining the band, and you know, it wasn't just a name change, like we scrapped everything and started again.
Yeah, so it felt like kind of you're starting afresh, did it, with the music?
New direction, different sound.
Can you tell me a bit about that? Because having listened obviously to the 2 bands, it's quite obvious what the direction change is, but could you maybe explain a bit more about that for people?
I suppose we went a bit more lo-fi, a bit more garagey than we were, because we wanted to be able to recreate the same sound live as on recordings. So I suppose a bit more sloppy in a way, but
It's kind of got a lot of atmosphere to it, doesn't it? It's kind of got, like you're saying, that garagey kind of sound.
Yeah.
What about that kind of appeals to you? What is that you enjoy about that sound?
I suppose it'd be a throwback to like music that, like from like the 60s and stuff. Like even like Phil Spector recordings and those kind of
wall of sound kind of
idea.
idea.
Exactly. Not that we could ever recreate it, but we will try.
Yeah, and so it's kind of, I mean, did you feel that there was kind of freedom there when you were kind of changing the name, changing the lineup slightly, that it kind of gave you a chance to try things you hadn't tried before with other bands?
Yeah, well, I suppose we simplified, if anything.
Yeah,
because
we used to all swap around instruments, and we just decided we'd all stick to one instrument each.
Yeah.
And you'd be amazed at how much easier that made everything sound.
Yeah.
It makes gigs a little less awkward anyway, because you don't have to like have 5 minutes between each song.
And you brought out a cassette as well, a single, I suppose you'd call it. Can you tell us about that too?
There was a record label in Scotland. They just emailed us and said they liked your stuff and would be interested in putting something out. So we had a couple of songs recorded. We recorded with a guy called John Haggis down in Waterford, and we put 2 of those songs on the cassette. It was a very small limited run of like 100 cassettes or something, but we're going to be doing a 7-inch with them.
Cool.
So we just need to get that mixed and sent to them, and then we're going to do 7-inch.
Excellent. And it sold out really quickly as well, I believe, the tape. Was it really cool to see the reaction from people and see people buying it online and everything?
Yeah, I mean it sold out. You know, they sell it from their online shop, and they had it some online shop in Japan. They had it in Rough Trade as well, and it sold out within like 2 or 3 days, which was brilliant. So.
Excellent. And you just came off tour, or you were touring in the UK, weren't you, last week? Or you actually, I think, came home this morning, wasn't it? So on the late night ferry.
So it's pretty grim.
Yeah, I can imagine. So, but was the tour really good then in comparison to having to stay in the ferry?
I think that was the only low point. The rest, it was really good fun. Like we had good fun, played in like London, Sheffield, Nottingham, and then we played the festival. The festival was brilliant. Played with some really good bands, and just really enjoyed it.
And I mean, in terms of the future as well, are you recording new stuff at the moment, or do you plan to record stuff after you kind of do a bit more gigs, or
we've recorded a few tracks that we're waiting to get them mixed.
Yeah.
We're going to do a few more. There's a label in Japan got in contact with us, and they want to put out a CD with about, like they said, 7 or 8 songs.
Yeah.
So we need to get a few more recorded to send to them first.
So you'll have the 7-inch.
That's the plan. We're going to do the 7-inch anyway with Soft Power Records, which is the Scottish label, and then the Japanese one need more.
We'll see what happens then.
Yeah, exactly. And what about then the kind of concept of DIY and independent music? What does that mean to you then in September Girls?
We do it kind of because it's the only way to get things done.
Yeah.
But it's quite enjoyable as well. Like even in terms of like merchandise and stuff, we do it all ourselves, and it's a bit of a pain, but we do it because we don't have the money to do it any other way. But there's something kind of valuable about when you're like making limited edition things. I think people appreciate that. I know I do. Like if I go to a gig and there's like limited edition anything, like.
I don't think like we never really done it any other way, so it's not like don't really have anything to compare it to.
Yeah.
So that's just the way it is.
Yeah, you're not like, I'm going to be DIY. It's just that's just naturally you are an independent band. Yeah, exactly.
You don't sit there and go, I wonder who's going to make those T-shirts for us. You know, do it yourself.
And so, do you want to tell us a bit about the song that we're going to see the performance of there in a minute? Do you want to tell us a bit about this track?
It's about jealousy. Yeah, and that's all. jealousy, but you were right to be jealous. That's
Okay, and it's called Green-eyed, am I right? Not Greenland, as some
No,
are calling
not
it.
Greenland.
Green-eyed makes sense.
I
when
don't
you
know
the
enough
theme.
about geography to write a song about Greenland.
Excellent. We never know. Next album.
Yeah.
Or the first album. So this track's called Green-eyed. Thanks a million, girls. It was really good chatting to you.
Thanks very much.